in the new season of their original YouTube series, Warehouse Games, called Blitzball Battle 5, premieres on November 5th. And this man is talking Yanks. He knows all about this stuff. He's Jomboy back in the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Jomboy?
Hey.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, man, I'm fired up.
Any nerves yet?
Of course. Are you kidding me? Nerves.
Okay.
Although they are all shot from the Cleveland Guardians and the American League Championship Series. Those games in Cleveland were off the charts. They were off the charts, man.
Those last three gave you everything you wanted as a baseball fan. You know, even they lost. Even the one they lost, it was still you finally got emotions, because the Royal Series and the first two against the Guardians, I didn't walk away buzzing from those. I was like, okay, great, we won, let's go. And then those last three, I'm still, my voice is still a little gone. I'm still some big moments. Those were really fun.
Yeah, I still have a little bit of the PTSD of watching Stephen Kwan come up every three at bats. It's I honestly I thought to myself, does this guy get to come up to the plate whenever he wants? Because it felt like he was up every single second, and the Guardians don't strike out. They don't make too many mistakes. Obviously, there were some in the field that did aid the Yankees during the series, but they put the ball in play. Everybody throws 100 miles an hour, it felt, and they're a terrific baseball team, man. They are really good, the Guardians.
Kwan made me realize how much slugging, not that I didn't know, does matter, because it was like, all right, here comes Kwan. He'll hit a single, and then we'll move on from there. Bases aren't loaded. We won't get in any trouble here.
Right. That's the way it basically felt all the time. When will the Steinbrenner family just adopt Juan Soto to make it cheaper for them, Jomboy? When will that happen, do you think? What do you think?
Let's hope on the podium when they give him the trophy.
They give him the adoption papers to sign? Is that what you're
Hal
saying?
should hand him the trophy, and then there should be just a check, that just in that moment.
That's
as
right.
Well.
Yeah, what car executive, isn't that what happens all the time? Yeah. Some car executive comes up and awards. Maybe it can be like 23andMe executive can come up and award the adoption paper. Hey, yes. Juan, you've been a Steinbrenner all along. Look at that. Isn't that weird? That would be the
I work. I never know.
I think we came up with it. So let's break down the World Series, Jomboy. You think I guess let's go the biggest storylines entering this World Series that will result in one team beating the other is what? Do you think?
A top end bullpen. So the Yankees are thin at the top end. If Canely and Weaver come into game one and can't protect a lead, that's going to scare me moving forward, because those guys need to get it done for the Yankees to win. So that would be a little worrisome for me, because at the top end of the Yankees bullpen is pretty thin. On the flip side, if the Dodgers starters can get them to 6 innings, like between the three of their starters, Flaherty, Walker Buehler, Yamamoto, 2 of them need to be knocked out early for the Yankees to advance in this, because it's going to be offensive firepower. I don't think they're going to hold the Dodgers to 0, 1, 2 runs. And they're going to use, the Dodgers will use a lot of their bullpen. If we can make them use more than they want, that would be really nice. But if we find out that Jack Flaherty and Yamamoto both went 7 innings and really saved the bullpen arms in those games, that's going to be costly.
Yeah, and I heard in terms of other arms for the Yankees, Nestor Cortez talking about wanting to be in this World Series. If it costs him a longer term injury, then so be it. Something along those lines.
I love the live reaction of his agent reading that quote.
Right. So the question is if he does somehow do this thing, I don't know. Would the Yankees put him on the back end? Would they? Because I know at one point they did have him close a game one time that kind of rankled him, where he thought he should be a starter. Potentially the Yankees doing something like that in this World Series?
We asked Boone how built up he was, because he kind of had to streamline the recovery to get game ready, and he said it's only an inning or two. So he'll be more used as a reliever. I think the best lane for Nestor is going to be when Clark Schmidt and Luis Heel start, they're not going to let either of those guys see the top of the Dodgers lineup a third time. And there's a lot of lefties there. There's Ohtani, there's Freddie, there's Muncy. That will be where Nestor will get that lane of batters to bridge the gap to Canely, Clay, Weaver. So I think that's where they want to use him in games 1 and 2. Best case, Rodon and Cole can hand it to the top end guys, and Nestor's not needed. But I do like having another lefty option out of the pen. He should be replacing Tim Maze's innings from the Guardians.
Right, pretty much. Jomboy, the founder of Jomboy Media, here on the Rich Eisen Show, and we'll talk about Blitzball Battle 5 in a moment. So the pitching plan for Ohtani. What did you ask this of Aaron Boone? What do you do here in this World Series?
Oof. Cole's going to go at him because Cole has good numbers against him, and he's leading off the game. So you get that first at bat to really attack him. When there's runner in scoring position, his numbers are insane. He's got, I think it's a 783 batting average when there's a runner in scoring position over his last 20 games or so. So when you face the 8-hole hitter, the 9-hole hitter, you got to get those guys out. We need some spectacular plays on defense and keep them empty. If there's a base open, you walk them. I think if there's a runner on second and not on first, you walk them. It's not as easy as versus the Guardians. This is the depth on the Dodgers way different than the Royals and Guardians, so it's a much tougher task.
So listen, I know you've got quite a business going where you're watching the game and people are watching you and your guys watch the game, but any thoughts about actually going to one of these games in the Bronx? John?
Yeah, we got tickets for game 5.
Oh,
the only problem is if that's a potential clinching game on the positive side. I don't know. I think we'll see. I think our community and what we've been doing, it'd be better suited to, do the stream and be able to record right away. So that's, we'll see.
There is no I in Jomboy is basically what you're saying. You would give up your own personal Game 5 tickets to see the Yankees try to survive, or it could be a pivotal Game 5, right, which is kind of huge. Yeah. You would cough that up if you'd cough up watching the Yankees win and clinch in person for your business, Jomboy? For real?
You don't get, there's half of me that's part of the business, and you do not get this opportunity, Dodgers, Yankees, often. So there's going to be regret either way. Let's hope for the business side, it's a 2-2 series. No one can clinch Game 5, and I get to go, and we get to enjoy it. Otherwise, I'll have to figure it out. We're currently looking into backpacks that allow you to live stream and bring internet with you. Don't tell Major League Baseball.
Okay, very uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. I just quoted Shakespeare with Jomboy right there on the Rich Eisen Show. So that is what was the first Yankee game you ever attended? You remember? Back in the day?
I had to be little. I have a lot of memories of going, when I lived in New Jersey, of going to games in the 90s. My dad would take me to the box seats right next to the bleacher creatures, and there were different entrances in the old stadium. And I would sit there as a little kid, and my head would just be turned, and I just watched the bleacher creatures. I couldn't really piece the game together at that age, but what they were doing, the chants and fighting and getting kicked out, I would just sit and people watch the bleacher creatures as a little kid and loved it.
Yeah, man, and Garrett Cole, the kid who held up the sign like Yankee forever, and there's a picture of Anthony Volpe at the 2009 parade in the Canyon of Heroes, and now they're playing in the World Series for the Yankees. It's pretty cool, man.
Really cool. That Volpe picture, that kind of, I was like, oh damn, that's cool to see real fans. Trevino also grew up like a really big Yankee fan. His dad was a big fan. So sometimes people fake that, everyone that comes to Yankees like, oh, I grew up playing. And then there's some guys where I think it's legit. Volpe, his parents grew up listening to WFAN, and his dad was a caller. So
I love that, man.
That's nothing fake about that.
So tell me about warehouse games and blitzball battle. I could see the poster behind your left shoulder because you are you're a businessman. You're selling, you're branding,
Yes.
Okay. What is this about, Jomboy?
So It's basically our own reality show meets sports world. What we've done is we've taken all the essence and camaraderie and competitiveness of a backyard baseball game with your neighbors or your brothers or your cousins, and put a professional production around it with Kelsey Wingert does sidelines. She's a professional sideline reporter. Chris Rose is the voice.
Yes.
He does play-by-play. And every sport, we have a professional in that sport, be it hockey, baseball, cricket, come and do color commentary. And they're basically just roasting us. And then in the middle of the warehouse, we have, Trevor Plouffe played in the big leagues for 7-8 seasons, got 100 home runs, and now I'm pitching to him in this glorified wiffle ball game. And the competition is very real at times, but it's also very silly, and there's all these narratives and reality show aspects. The umpires are a total goof and gaff, and just kind of like our battering ram of comedy. So it's really fun. We've been growing it. We did it on our own, invested a ton. We're able to sell distribution nationally to it, so you can also watch it on TV. If you have a Bally Sports network in your area, and the new one debuts on November 4th. We changed it to not compete with the election, which is a smart move by us.
It makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Jomboy, World Series is done, and then you avoid election day. Pretty cool. And there's also, you can check it out on youtube.com/warehouse games as well. Heart of hearts, what's your prediction for the World Series before I let you go?
I need the Yankees to win, and I can't say otherwise. I'm a biased Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough, though. I can see the Dodgers winning easily if certain things fall certain ways, and I cannot see the Yankees winning in 4 or 5. So I'll go Yanks in 6.
Yanks in 6 out here. Wow, that would be something. Listen, if anything informs this World Series from the season series, got to make sure Yamamoto doesn't go as deep as he did in the game he dominated them, and make sure Teoscar Hernandez isn't the one who beat you, right? I mean,
yes.
that he killed the Yankees in that series, absolutely dominated them, and that's part of the reason why I'm, as a Yankee fan, I'm concerned, because the Dodgers are that deep. They are that deep, and Mookie Betts in Yankee Stadium is going to just whatever. He's been there, done that. Ohtani's the same way. I don't think anybody's going to have big eyes in the moment. That's part of the reason that I'd be concerned as a Yankee fan.
We'll cross our fingers. Ohtani has never performed well in Yankee Stadium, so maybe that's gonna come into play here. Pitching and hitting, numbers are awful, which is bizarre. And I'm not doubting Ohtani. I think that he will rise to the occasion. The other thing is the Yankees didn't play Soto in those 3 games in the Bronx against the Dodgers. He had a forearm injury that I think now they should come out and say, no, we were just hiding him because we knew that Yamamoto was going to face him in the World Series.
I remember that. That's right. He got hurt, and then he wasn't there. And then, they needed a Trent Grisham home run to actually salvage something, and, the Yankees won't be putting him out there. But when you say Soto, you mean Juan Steinbrenner, right?
Yes.
Jomboy?
Yes.
Okay.
Juan Steinbrenner.
My bad.
Jr.
No, I just wanted to, not to nitpick. Thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Have a great World Series, bud.
Thank you. You as well.
Right back at you. Jomboy of Jomboy Media right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.